But yeah, I think all those the older guys and all those folks that came before me, I learned a lot from. Even at the hospital, learned how to do IVs.
Okay.
Now you can hurt folks pretty bad with that needle if you're not good with it. So I learned to be really good with it.
Okay.
So I had some good influences there, some good teachers teach me how to stick veins. Then one of my jobs was to teach the nurses when they were going through nursing school how to do start IVs.
Huh.
In fact, back then those days, the nurses RNs graduate from college at $4.20 an hour.
Wow. That's
now just on the Amsterdam they make 17. But I worked those 4 full-time jobs: the hospital job, the fire department job, one emergency room job with the ambulance service and all that kind of stuff, and then a regular hospital, then a mental hospital, and all 4 of those jobs together came $8.30 an hour. I think what it came up to. So it took a lot of $8 to, but gas and whatever was less expensive than it is now, but still. $8 is not a whole lot, but yeah, they started at $4 an hour back when I was teaching nurses how to stick veins. But well, it's come a long way since those days, and everything's come a long way, I guess. Now where am I going now? I forgot what my background, people who have made me successful. I think quite successful though in relationship of learning knowledge and able to relate that knowledge in a way people understand. I love teaching. Special ed was my forte. Okay. And because I'm a special ed person myself, and so I can relate to the kids who need more just more attention. Okay. Just more time to learn something. Maybe a little slower than some other kids, but they were kind of like the guys in wrestling. You ask a young guy in wrestling, what's the job of a bad guy? He says, to cheat. Ask the little kid in special ed, what's the job? How come you're special ed? Because I'm a bad kid. Oh. See, that's the wrong concept. He ain't a bad kid. He's a lucky kid. And in special ed, it's because he gets more help. And what the job of a bad guy is not to cheat, but out wrestle the good guy, like we talked about before. But the concept, until you can teach the concept, they don't have the right concept. But that's why I really enjoy being able to teach that and enlighten folks on what the real deal is, I think. Because it took me a long time. I went through a lot of heartache learning what the real deal is.
That'd make a good transition to your time as a substitute teacher at Troup High School?
Well, yeah, I was a substitute, and I went full-time as a paraprofessional.
Oh, okay.
That's when I got into into special ed. And then when in mainstream, that I had to go back to substitute. But I was there, I guess, 15 years in Troup County school system. Oh, wow. But I was always had a full-time job, subbing, the whole year generally. Yeah. Whenever I got a subbing, but that special ed time was really good. And then they mainstreamed all the kids back into the regular classes, and then they kind of killed it off. But that was about 15 years was really good. And Troup, and then especially Callaway, I was there. I think Callaway more than I was at Troup. Okay. At the end, yeah. But you remember that?
No, somebody actually, Holly, I believe, Holly from Instagram asked about it.
Yeah. Holly, I think Holly was a teacher of a language teacher or something for the kids, for special ed kids. If that's the same Holly.
I don't know.
She'd come by, I think once a week and have different lessons with them.
Oh. That's cool.
Yeah, I think the same Holly. She was a member of my gym. I'm sure it's the same Holly.
Okay.
But yeah, talking about the gym now, when I first started in LaGrange, I wasn't liked very well. Who's that big son of a gun think he is? And I didn't say son of a gun either. So I got in the gym business, and there was a bunch of the guys that worked 12 hours a day, came in and worked out like crazy in the gym. And I wanted to make it a better gym for those guys, so I was on my hands and knees, literally on my hands and scrubbing floors, painting, doing all, making the gym better for those guys, and I earned their respect. And then today, Gary Johnson, and oh gosh, so many of them. Not to mention all of them, I have to mention one, but I love them to death like brother, man. But they're the ones who actually made me. They made me who I am. People make you. You don't make yourself. You do the work, and they'll make you. Like in the ring, you don't make yourself. The people make you. you know, the biggest superstar in the movie business. If nobody came to watch the movie, he wouldn't make a dime. He would just be a person, another guy in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But the people, you have to think, the people make you. You got to, you know, the more you become successful, the more humble you have to become. You have to stay on your knees because those folks make you. You know, if you got a business in town, you got to stay on your knees, looking up to them folks that come in and buy your product or come and spend their money at your gym or whatever it may be. And then you need to take care of them, a little gift every once in a while of appreciation.
That's actually a really good piece of advice.
Now, if you have employees, you know, a little bonus once in a while is always good, better than a raise sometimes. Just show your appreciation to all the folks who make you. You know, like I said, you don't make yourself. This is anything correlated, but when I'm driving that parking lot at the wrestling, I'm a superstar. I carry myself like a superstar. I get in that ring and I pay everything. I pay them folks back as a superstar, and they look at me as a superstar. But when I leave there, I'm just another jabroni. But you got to know who you are and who you ain't. You got to know when to use it and when not to use it. You got to know when you're on in that spotlight. You're the spotlight. But when you leave there, you're just on your hands and knees. You just got to be humble. You can't be arrogant. People know arrogance right from the get-go, and that's no good. But you got to stay humble. You got to always realize that people make you. You don't make yourself. And that's how you earn your respect, I think. I took a big downfall in town. I was on top, I guess you could say, and then took a big tumble to the bottom. I got respect on the way up, but I got more respect on the way back up. You know, that's what shows your character.
Okay.
When you take a big bump, you take a big fall, about down to zero again.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe less than zero. But then pick yourself back up and get going again. And I got a lot of handshakes and $100 bills in town from different people of stature, I guess you'd call that, of substance. I guess just through admiration of getting back up and going again.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's okay to fail, but don't stay that long. You get back up and keep going.
Okay. Question: How did you get the name? How did you get the nickname Chicken Golden Boy?
Chick Donovan. I'll tell you, the Golden Boy I gave you, but Chick Donovan was my granddad's boxing name.
Oh, okay.
He was. That's reading the CHICK because they got it out of chicken. He was a smaller guy. I mean, this chicken, you know, whatever the deal was, but it was CHICK. But his middle name was Donovan. And the Golden Boy came from, we were in the dressing room in Columbus, Georgia, and Wrestling 2 was there, and I always were pretty articulate in the way I dressed, and I changed the colors of my shoestrings and my boots, my white boots, to the color trunks I was wearing. I always liked them kind of color coordinated and whatever, but through the years. But one night we're in Columbus there, and Wrestling 2 was sitting across the aisle from me, across the room from me, and I had the gold shoestrings in my boots and the gold tights on, and my hair was blonde at that time. Now it's white now, but it was blonde at that time. And he said, "Y'all call yourself the Golden Boy." So that was about 1979. I'd been wrestling a couple of years, I guess, but about around 79, and so the Golden Boy was created right there. There's only been only one other, Arnold Skolden, Golden Boy, and he was an older guy in New York, but that's where the Golden Boy came from. The Chick Donovan was from my granddad. My granddad was a boxer for years, and around up north. They boxed under the Al Capone's banner, I guess.
Okay.
Because he ran all the anything to do with entertainment, whatever. Al Capone was the guy. But in later years, he became an evangelist preacher. But Granddad, he would come to Augusta from Baltimore to watch some of my matches. He would come visit me in Macon when I was living in Macon, just to see how I was doing. And I think he was always really proud of using that Chick Donovan name. And even in high school when I had a band, I used to sign autographs, Chick Donovan, I guess in those days, back in the, I guess, late 50s, 60s, whatever it was. Do a little play music for a junior, senior prom or something. But I think he was always like that. You know, he'd come to visit me. And that's a long way to come visit, just to say hello or whatever.
Yeah.
You know. But I always thought that was pretty cool. He liked that. But I remember one night in Augusta, Mother was there. Mother wanted to come. That's the last time she ever came to the matches. But she was kind of going nuts when I was during the match. Something. He said, "Jackie, just settle down. He knows what he's doing." But he just kind of settled down a little bit. great fond memories of my granddad in Baltimore. I was able to had a match in Baltimore right before he passed away. He was managing and preaching at a high rise.
Okay.
He didn't come to the show. He wasn't able to get to the show, but he was there. I got to visit with him, spend a couple of nights with him in Baltimore. And then he passed away thereafter. But that was cool. I thought I spent some of the last days with him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone wanting to pursue a career similar to yours?
They can do something else. Now, whatever you find out what your niche is in life, or whatever you want to do, just work hard, and if you don't know how, get somebody who knows how, and they'll tell you how to become successful. But it just comes through work.
Okay.
Some people made for athleticism. Some people they work on computers.
Mm-hmm.
Just think of what's going to. The best advice I've ever heard: those who solve the biggest problems make the most money.
Got it.
So if you want to make the most money, be somebody that can solve a problem. You can be the biggest nerd in the business. You can be an Urkel, but so if you solve the biggest problem in that manufacturing company, you're gonna make the most money there, brother. So that's the best. I think the best advice. I got that from my preacher.
Makes sense. All right. Can you tell me about the story of the best wrestler to work with?
Wow. Now, there's been a match on TV, on the internet, that's probably got several million shots, and it's Ric Flair.
Yeah, I watched it last night.
Oh, did you really? And there's a story about that I just heard the other night. I was in Sylvania. But anyway, Flair, to get to answer that question, Flair was really incredible to work with. Brad Armstrong, rest his soul. Ricky Steamboat,
Mm-hmm.
Incredible athlete. Paul Orndorff,
Mm-hmm.
can't work anymore, but Ted Allen, he's passed away now. And just the opportunity to work with all the greats, Ole and the Masked Superstar, just all those greats through the years. I had my thing in my mind, and I forgot where I'm going with it, but all those guys were just wonderful to work with. But that match with Flair, now, that was kind of a deal. I'm not gonna get into that. It was something Dusty wanted to kind of try to hurt me with it.
Oh.
And that's when he commentated. That's when he was commentating. And since he's passed away, I guess I can even tell about it. I got a heat with Dusty. It's probably the biggest mistake I ever made in my career. I walked out and run one time, and I was his main boy for a long time. And but I walked out on him once, and he wouldn't speak to me again. And that was several years. He wouldn't speak to me. Even in the same dressing room, he wouldn't speak. At WCW or whatever. But he commentated. He put me with Flair, and he commentated that match. That's when he was commentating. He was saying this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden I started doing what he said he would be doing. And it was kind of funny. But I know where I was going with this thing. But I was at the match in Sylvania last Friday night, and it's down about 4.5 hours from here.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a guy there that had talked to Flair, and Flair said I was one of the best guys he's ever worked with. And Flair worked with guys every night, hours, matches every night in territories all over the country. But I never knew that. But he said I was probably the best he had to work with.
That's really cool.
Which I don't know. That's pretty stretching the point when he had Steamboat night after night and all these other guys, Dusty but that was quite a compliment.
Take the compliment.
Now, if I could do that match over, I'd do it a lot differently. I'd put him in the figure four off the right quite quick probably. I would have done a few other little things, but sometimes but it was okay. But I would like to change a few things. But that's the growing process, the learning process of being there to being here now, of knowledge. Knowledge is power, Without knowledge, without works, knowledge is no good. So, and if you got knowledge, you got to share it.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter what it is, you got to go and just share it with those whom that would benefit. But I've learned now in the dressing rooms, every time I go in the dressing room, I'm trying to make it a better dressing room. Change the whole demeanor from now. When we first started in business, we got in the dressing room. We weren't allowed to say anything.
Okay.
We had to sit there. We just sit down and listened. When you listen, you can learn something.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking, you don't. A man started a fool, he opens his mouth, and there's no doubt. So you sit down and listen. That reminds me of another story in a minute. But Oh God! I was just thinking about Chi Rodriguez when I was at the foundation down in Florida, working with Chi and all the kids there. And that's even another story. Maybe I'll get back to the other in a minute, but that brings another story. I was at the golf course with Chi, and he taught me. He's actually what I taught me. I've been playing golf 60 years. My dad used to put me out early morning, pick me up late at night at the golf course, and during the summer every year when I was 10 years old, I guess, and through the years. But he taught me, Chi taught me the fundamentals, the golf swing, and all the fundamentals of golf. But Alan Doyle and LaGrange taught me golf. Golf's between the years, professional sports between the years. But anyway, I was able to work with the kids there and teach them this, that, and I did all kind of work from cleaning out the sand traps to whatever. But one day at the gym, this little kid came in and with his wife, and I was sitting down and talking to folks before we signed them up and whatever. But and golf came up, and he said, the last time I played golf was when you taught me. But he was one of the kids at the foundation that had been kicked out of school for whatever reason it was, and he was at the foundation. I helped him with it, with golf or something, I don't know. But he was there in the gym getting them on and buying a membership, and I thought that was kind of cool. But Chi was a great guy. They had that foundation for battered abuse kids and Clearwater, and that was another real high spot of my career. I left one of my world heavyweight belts there. In fact, it's that belt right there in the picture there. I left that belt with the foundation in Florida.
Oh, okay, cool.
And when I was heavyweight champion in Florida. But yeah, he was quite a character. Chi was a good man, and that was a big high spot, I think. But he taught me the fundamentals of golf. But Alan Doyle here in town taught me golf. That's between the years.
What's your favorite golf place in LaGrange? What's your favorite golf hole in LaGrange? This question's from Jake Matthews.
Oh, well, let's see. The Legion was the training grounds of.
Okay.
It had every shot in golf you wanted, from left to right, right to left, and it had small greens. You had to learn how to hit L wedges off of dirt fairways. You had to learn how to play at one time some of the worst conditions there was. Sometimes it was not too bad a condition, but most of the time it was pretty nominal. But you had to learn all those shots, and then you had Alan there teaching. He didn't teach golf. We learned from him. Like I said, he taught me risk reward. Keep that club in the bag and get to when you can hit 6 times out of 10 instead of 1 time out of 10. He just taught me that type of risk reward thing. But the Fields was a really nice golf course. And when the Fields came around, it was in a very elite golf course. It still is. It's still nice. And now the first tee. Alan Doyle created the first tee, and not created the first tee, but they built the course in town for the first tee, and he runs it. Of course, he runs the country club as well. I played the country club at one time as well. But he runs the first tee where I play golf now frequently, probably almost every day. I'm chipping. I work on my game. I still work on game chipping all up hours and hours on the short game. I can teach you the short game. Can't teach the long game. I can teach you how to chip and putt, but through his influence, through Doyle was probably the best wedge player ever in golf. Since maybe Bobby Jones or somebody, but even though he was the best, because he learned from that Legion, it had to be so precise. And he was just pinpoint. He'd pinpoint those wedges, man. But he had the work ethic. Alan said he wasn't the best golfer, but he had the best work ethic. He had it in between the years, and that's the difference. You can have all the talent in the world, but if you don't work at it, you'll never be successful at it. You may do okay, but you're gonna never reach your potential.
Got it.
It's all about the work you put in to reach your potential, and you can go way beyond your potential if you have work and the right and some instruction and somebody helping you. But it's all about the work you put in anything in life.
I'm sensing that it's a common theme today.
Sorry?
I'm sensing that as a common theme today. Is the work you put in.
Oh, it's all about the work and the work ethic, building the work ethic. If I didn't have a work ethic, I would never have anybody help me get that gym together.
This is where the recording cut out.
And we're back up to saying kids in school and whatever grade you're in, do the things you hate doing, do it first. Do that homework first and get that out of the way. And that'll help you learn a work ethic. Get the stuff you don't like, do it first, and the other stuff comes a lot easier. Then you get all your work done. If you wait for that hard stuff last, you'll never get it done, more than likely. And you go to school without your work done. And that's not good. You want to get that worst stuff done first, and then follow up with the good stuff, and be proud of what you do and take to school, and put the big smile on your face. The teacher, look what I've done. I got it all done, boy. And that's building a work ethic. Now, if I didn't have the work ethic when I started the gym here in town, Mike King would have never helped me. Mike King was probably the reason I got the gym going to begin with. He brought his guys in. He did all the build out for me. He probably did $100,000 worth of work for me.
Wow.
To get that gym in and get a building ready for a gym, because it was his building, but still, it's beside the point. But he knew I had a work ethic. That I was going to work. I worked 24 hours an hour and there with him getting it ready, going. So it's all about the work ethic. If you've got a work ethic in school, and you build that work ethic, and anybody will tell you how to be successful, whatever you decide you want to do in life. But you got to put forth that work first. It ain't gonna help you if you don't get to work. If you ain't gonna put the work first, you might as well just hang it up. But if you put the work first, you put that work ethic to it. Anybody will help you that has a knowledge of where you want to go, because they'll be proud to be able to carry that their own legacy on. That's what I do in wrestling. I'm proud to be able to carry that, to translate that legacy now into reality, and to build it into people that know, oh yeah, he'll remember 20 years from now, man, yeah, that's what he told me, and it's working. So that's what you want to do. You want to get the work ethic, and people will help you, brother. And without that, But do your work first, and then your success in life starts today. I don't care if you're in the first grade, second grade, third grade. It starts today. Your future starts now. It ain't when you get out of school. It's starting now. Building that work ethic to get where you want to go in life.
Yes, I try to instill that in my son with eat the vegetables first.
Right, and that's a healthy part first. But you want to be to be successful, to get on point, and get to a career and be able to retire in that career with a pretty good livelihood, and be able to relax when you get 65. I'm 73 and still working 4 jobs, from personal training to here to to music and whatever else I do. But it's all about the work ethic.
All right. Alan Pruitt wants to know, did you ever meet Andre the Giant?
I wrestled Andre the Giant once. We went in the dressing room in Carrollton, Georgia, and I think he drank a case of beer and a fifth of vodka before he goes in the ring or something. I don't know, whatever. He drinks a lot. He'd hold a bunch of stuff. But yeah, I wrestled him there that night in a battle royal. I think I still got the card somewhere at home in a storage building or something, if it's not destroyed by now. But I was on that card with Andre the Giant. That was pretty cool, big guy. But the Giant now, the guy they got now, White, he's just a big guy. He's bigger than the Giant was.
Paul White?
Yeah.
Big Show. Yeah.
Big Show was bigger than the Giant. But he's a normal guy. I don't know if you call that normal, but he's just huge, 7 foot, whatever it is. But the Giant was a hell of a boss. But nobody wanted to take him around, and when he come to the territory, he'd put your car to the ground. But, so Vince made him a special van in New York, and they'd have to ride around with special suspension on it, so he didn't tear your car up. He had his own transportation that they built him. But he was a good guy, I was around him a few times, but he didn't say a whole lot. But hello, boss. But he seemed to be a good guy, and I think he passed away right after his dad passed away. I think somewhere wherever they lived, in France or somewhere, I think.
All right, last question about professional wrestling. What's one common myth about professional wrestling that you want to debunk?
A myth about wrestling?
Yeah.
I want to debunk. Well, people got their own opinions about wrestling, which they can have their own opinions, but until you get there, you don't even really know what it is. You can say, I know how you feel if you're trying to console somebody with cancer. If you never had cancer, and you say, I know how you feel. You don't know how you feel. You never felt it. If you've never been in a ring, never took a bump, you don't know what it is. You don't know how it feels.
Fair enough.
And you sacrifice your body to entertain you. They want to knock the business for one reason or another. It's I guess it could be a business of illusions to a degree.
The circus, maybe?
But it's an all athletic. I mean, you go out there and work 5 minutes, and I guarantee your tongue be dragging the ground.
Oh, yeah.
I can go out there and work an hour because I'm in shape. I've worked hard. Worked hard cardiovascularly and anatomically to be able to take that punishment, to be able to take all those blows and all the fists inside the head, chairs in the back. Let me hit you in the chair of the head and see how you feel it, But you just take it and go on, because that's just part of the deal. That's part of the life you're living, to try to entertain folks. but you sacrifice your body to do that. And wrestling is whatever you want to make it. That's all I can say. It's whatever you want to make it. And we just sacrifice ourselves to put a smile on your face. And that's my whole thing I do in life now. Going to nursing homes, and we play music at a nursing home. This one lady, she's in a wheelchair, but I always dance with them and stuff. But I had to do a Medicare talk at a nursing home here in town. And I was told this lady bought 2 new red dresses for me. One for that, one for the deal, the Medicare talk, and another red dress, a new one for I was going to go play the next Saturday at the play music next Saturday at the nursing home. So she bought two red dresses, just for me. I mean, how incredible is that? She bought 2 red dresses just for me. Wow, that's bigger than I really thought about it until I just thought about it now, how big that was, what she really bought those red dresses just for me. But I would dance with her, and she jumped up out of the wheelchair and just started dancing and carried. But yeah, she was real sweet. But you know, it's just a matter of paying attention to some folks that probably don't get paid attention to. Mm-hmm. We all the same. I don't care, whatever. We all the same. We all need love. We need somebody to wipe your butt and feed you and love you. And people say, I feel so sorry for the kid in the wheelchair, but he's where it's at. He ain't got to worry about life, just saying as long as somebody's got to feed him and love him. Mm-hmm. That's all you need in life is peace of mind. And when you got peace of mind, you got it all. You know, peace of mind comes in different things. Peace with your religion, peace with your family, peace with your work. When you got peace with that, savor it, because it don't come often. Once you get it, you got utopia. It's all about peace of mind, peace within yourself. Peace to go to work, it's just your peace with your own life. That's the ultimate goal in life, to have peace of mind. And when you get that, I had it once and I threw it away. And I'm still paying for it after all these years, up to 25 years, still paying for it. But that's the life lesson. Once you get that peace of mind, just savor it, man. You have to. But that's the ultimate goal of life, is peace of mind, peace within yourself.